Welcome to our three-part series on explaining SaniTrend Cloud OEE. So SaniTrend Cloud is a software as a service that gives you reporting cycles for your automated cleaning system. This video series is going to go through the OEE portion, or overall equipment effectiveness, and explain each of those parameters as how it relates to the actual cleaning system and what you can do to help improve your cleaning system's efficiency. So the three parameters of OEE are availability, performance, and quality. And in each episode, we'll dig a little bit more into each of those parameters. Welcome to episode 1 of explaining SaniTrend Cloud OEE. Today we're going to take a look at availability. So what is availability? How does it impact the cleaning system performance? And then we're going to do a little bit of a demo. We're going to walk through an ideal cycle and go through just fully execute it without any hiccups. And then we're going to throw a few wrenches into the system and that availability score. We're going to see how that's impacted by certain things. So first, what do we define availability for a cleaning system? For us, two things impact that: alarms and operator stops. So we're really defining when is your system available when you're intending to clean. So if I have my system up and running and I'm doing an 8-hour shift and I'm going to clean throughout that, we want that system to be up and running and not sitting down and not an idle because an operator stopped, not sitting because it's been alarmed out and the operator is going to do another task and they haven't come back to look at it. So anytime that the system is in that state where it's not running but could be, that's going to impact our availability. So first, we'll take a look at an ideal cycle. We just have a simple cycle set up for today. It's going to go through a fill step, a rinse step, and a drain step. We'll take a look at the availability score with that. And then we're going to throw that wrench into the system where I'm going to program in so that the low pressure alarm comes up. So this could be if you have a clogged strainer perhaps, and that comes up during a cycle when the operator's off doing something else, and it takes a little bit of time to come back and look at it. So we'll simulate that in our availability impacted recipe and then compare and contrast that. So the whole intent of availability is that again, we can help to diagnose these issues where the system is down for whatever reason, whether an operator stopped, the alarm came up, and try to minimize and reduce those events. So first we'll take a look at our ideal recipe and get that started, and then we'll jump up to our next recipe. Okay, so we just ran that ideal recipe. Now I've set up the system so that it's going to experience a low supply flow. So this is like if you have a clogged strainer on your CIP system and you need to change it, it would alarm out in this manner. So I've set it up to do that. I'm going to hit start in the system, and like an operator would, if you're going to walk away for a while, we're going to alarm up and I'll come back and acknowledge that and keep running, and we'll see that impact your availability. Okay, so my low supply flow alarm is activated, and I was an operator, off doing some other tasks. I came back. I'm going to acknowledge this. Maybe I clean up the strainer and put it back in so that I don't get that alarm again. But this downtime has impacted our availability score because our ideal state is X amount of time. This has extended that time that you're cleaning in this cycle.
All right, so we're looking at the SaniTrend Cloud interface here. And we're going to take a look at first at that availability cycle and how we alarmed out the system, stopped for a little bit, operator came in and acknowledged the alarm, and how that affects our overall OEE scores here. So first off, let's look at what we're looking at here. So we see a chart of various cycles that we ran throughout this exercise. We'll take a look at first this first one. So this one is that perfect cycle, right? So we can look at the cycle steps. We ran a water fill step, then we ran a rinse, then we ran a drain. So this is our optimal cycle. Our availability was 100. We weren't down for any alarms or stops or operator stops, things like that. Our quality is 100. We didn't abort. We didn't step through anything. This is our performance score, so it's at 70. So this is where I mentioned that if you look at our actual fill sump, we took 24 seconds to fill, even though we're programmed to just be at 1 second. And the reason we do this is this allows for variability in fill times. So we do that to be as fast as we can, but just makes our performance score what it is. Our rinse, we rinsed for about 2 minutes. We programmed for 2 minutes, just a couple extra seconds for some of the events that happen when you start and stop. And then the drain sump, so we drain for about 40 seconds. So we program in just enough time to, after we see that water level drop to where we can't read anymore, get those final volume of water out of the system. So 70 is our baseline performance. Quality 100, availability should be 100. So let's jump to first the availability degradation. So first here, you can see that this is where we alarm. So right off the bat, you can see, all right, this cycle completed, but we had an alarm in it. That alarm obviously impacted our availability. So our quality, again, 100, performance right around 70 as we would expect, but our availability went down to 52, right? So instead of that initial cycle took, just over 2.5, 245 on the actual runtime, this cycle almost took twice that, right? So almost 6 minutes. So in that case, our availability, we were only available half the time. So we half the time we were running the cycle and doing our wash. The other half the time we were stopped for some reason. In this case, it was the alarm. So if I go over to our cycle events, we can take a look at actually what happened. We hit start, sump filled, a fill hold, and then we got to that low supply pressure alarm here. So this is where that alarm happened at 11:36, and then I didn't come in to acknowledge it until 11:39. So 3 minutes of downtime there in this short example cycle obviously impacted our availability. So in this case, you can take these data points and learn from them, improve alarm conditions, talk to operators about what happened, and try to improve your overall system performance. Thanks for joining episode 1, Availability, of our SaniTrend Cloud OEE series. Please make sure to catch episodes 2 and 3 on performance and quality.